And we're back for game 2 of our final best of 3, not just of the day. It's our lone best of 3 of the day, actually, or not just of the week, but for quite some time as Empire looks to move up the standings and make their way into second place. And we'll break that down depending on the result. Looking ahead, actually, I was having a conversation with many of our staff members about it to make sure we were all on the same page and understood what the rules were and all that kind of stuff. So we'll take a look at that. But suffice to say, Empire wants to win, and they want to win 2-0, and we'll leave it at that for now. If they win 2-0, they should be moving up into second overall position past Na'Vi and Cloud9. And, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Trouf. Axe and Mirana picked up again.
Yeah, Axe seems to I can't speak, but it's getting picked up earlier and earlier for Team Empire. They're getting more and more comfortable by saying, yo, we know how to play Axe. We don't want you to ban it out. We don't care if it's last position or first position. We know how to do it, and we'll work around your lineup. And Lycan picked up here, actually, for RoX.KIS, so it gets not banned out here by Team Empire. I think Lycan is thought to be not as strong on Radiant, and it's just simply because you don't have as easy of access to Roshan, but it's still ridiculously strong. We saw that Team Empire actually drafted up on Radiant yesterday against what was like 3 different Lycan counters being against Cloud. I think it was Cloud9, right?
Yep.
The Enchantress, and they had some other things, and Silent just owned with it. So still a very formidable hero.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Oh, that makes it worse. I mean, Lycan's still very formidable, as you said, and I think he's going to hang around and be tier 1 for a while. Ember, it's one of those things. I'm certainly not a pro player with pro knowledge, but just observing it and the way that players tend to treat them. Lycan never really missed a beat in terms of how high valued he was, though Ember Spirit is going entire phases without being picked or banned now. And I think, teams are just realizing, say, well, okay, he's good, but he's situationally good. He's not insta-pick good. But Lycan, I think, is going to be in a problematic matchup right here against the Axe, especially if the Axe gets off to another good start. Trying to use yourself and the Wolves to focus fire down a target like that has certainly got a lot of problems with Helix to begin with. If he decides to go an item like Blade Mail, that creates a huge problem for a hero that just wants to tunnel vision you and just bring down the target as quickly as possible. Of course, there is the option of just ignoring him, but sometimes that's easier said than done. You also have the ability, if you get up a blink, to chase down a Lycan who's trying to escape with low health and just smash his face with Culling Blade. And the Treant Protector adds to that now, having living armor that gives extra survivability to anyone, not just Axe, but also the Moonlight Shadow can create some confusion that makes it difficult, even for a hero that's moving at max speed like a Lycan who's popped his ultimate. Can be tough to stay on a target whenever all they have to do is disengage and go invisible.
Yeah, I think you touched on a good point there, is that Lycan with your Wolves, they're usually spread out amongst the map by scouting things or farming in a different lane. But if they're right next to you and Axe calls both of you and your Wolves, it just adds more procs and more damage against you. Also, this is one of the few times I feel like the nerf to Lycan will actually come into play quite heavily against RoX.KIS because of Axe. Like, if you have even just popped an ultimate and Axe still calls you, you don't have that extra HP to really rely on to get above the threshold of Axe's Culling Blade. And I actually think that makes a bit of a difference here in this game. But you mentioned too, just multiple ways to lock Lycan down even through the ultimate form with the Treant Protector, the call. Now you have casks to work with. The arrow, not so much unless you already have a setup stun. So Lycan, he definitely is going to need a fast BKB. Not to mention Axe. I know Mag goes for a very fast Blade Mail right after the blink. So you're going to want that BKB, definitely.
Now, on the other side of RoX.KIS, I actually really like their draft now. Empire has drafted, I mean, we know how good, we saw how good they are with Axe, and certainly Silence Mirana is tier 1 tree we know all about, especially if you keep up with EG games like we do. Witch Doctor, of course. There was a time not long ago where it'd be like, oh, it's a Witch Doctor pick. You're seeing him come out more and more often. I mean, it just happens. He's a very strong hero in his own right if he's run correctly, but especially whenever you're talking about his ultimate, the amount of damage that comes out of that is great. Cask, as you said, it takes a little RNG luck, I should say, but if you get it, it can be just unbelievably annoying. And but on the side of RoX.KIS, I like what they're doing push-wise. You're going to have mass split push potential. You're going to have a lot of opportunities to put pressure on the map early between the Enchantress and the Nature's Prophet in particular. You should, in theory, have fairly strong lanes. I mean, Lycan, not the best laner in the world, but his wolves do provide a fair amount of harass on the squishy targets, and Bane is one of the best tri-laners going, be it offensive or defensive. He can disengage, he can engage. Very effective there. I like their draft. I think RoX is looking good. It just, as always, it comes down to execution. But I do feel like the ceiling of possibilities for RoX is higher a little bit, and I do feel like Empire is going to be it's going to have the harder to execute lineup to make sure that they don't allow RoX to put all the pieces together for the second game in a row.
Yeah, I really like the Enchantress pickup here. I feel like Enchantress is a giant band-aid that fixes 2 or 3 problems in your lineup that you might face. Like if they go aggro try, this is what I could see a couple different instances. Like Empire goes aggro try to contest the Lycan. Enchantress, if his entire jungle is warded, he goes and ganks the safe lane. We see this so many times. We saw Aoi do this the other day, and it was just very, very effective. He ganked for the Darkseer. In this case, it's going to be a Nature's Prophet, which is also a great hero to gank for because he can hold him in place with the Sprout. And whoever that hero is in the safe lane, it's probably going to be very susceptible to ganks, whether it's the solo Axe, or I guess if it's Mirana, actually would be very, very good for Empire. Wondering if they go offensive with Axe, but nope, it's going to be probably Stylet going offensive with Treant and Witch Doctor. And so yeah, if they ward up the jungle and Enchantress can gank the solo short, the only thing I fear though is if he does that, Bane Lycan's not really going to get much in the bottom lane. Bane's going to have to maybe roam around with Enchantress, and Lycan's really going to have to play careful down here if that's what Team Empire does.
Yeah, this is a situation where they could wind up looking like game one. Lycan is a hero who he bounces back, I think, a little bit better than an Ember does whenever he's shut down as hard as we saw in game one, just because he can't duck into the jungle and be very effective there with a very small number of items. But for the most part, you know, he is melee. He does have great damage output, but if you're able to get him a level or two behind, he really struggles to stand up to any kind of pressure. I love the Nature's Prophet and the Enchantress and how those two heroes are going to work together. Gold Black roaming on the Enchantress with Prophet an instant +1 to any situation. Serving as a bit of at least a mental deterrent, even if he doesn't necessarily come and apply a ton of pressure. But he also, once he hits level 6, and this is one of the, in my opinion, most underrated reasons of value that you pick a Nature's Prophet against teams like Empire that you know love to run aggressive. Once he hits level 6, Nature's Wrath just bones an enemy tri-lane. Like, it is so hard, even at just level 1 for it, before the laning phase breaks down, to decide to engage when you know you're just going to get blasted with a nuke almost as soon as you do. Or if they want to engage, they're going to have a huge leg up and instant damage just based on how effective the Prophet could be, and not just in teleporting in, but in having the Nature's Wrath damage on top of everything else. So I do feel like Empire's definitely under the gun to execute a bit more. RoX.KIS, this is, I really like their lineup, but I mean, coming into a game like this after a trouncing like they saw in game 1, I just hope they come in with the right mindset and stabilized.
Yeah, I think now that I'm really looking at it, because it's probably going to be an Axe safe lane against a Furion, we saw this matchup actually against Cloud9 as well, and Axe just trumped the Furion, like destroyed him. Was able to just backlane the lane right from the get-go, and Furion couldn't do anything. Obviously, one of the strengths of Furion in 1v1s is using the trees to harass because they don't take creep aggro, but you can't do that against an Axe because it's only going to help him. So I think Furion is very important that he's extremely active this game. There are a momentous amount of pings coming out on both sides, but I think it's very important that he's going to be very active. But nope, they're going to do something different. They're going to run Lycan mid, actually, and go possibly a pseudo-aggressive tri-lane top with Nature's Prophet. I like this, actually, because Puck is probably not going to die unless he makes a misstep in the bottom lane. I mean, it is kind of a potent lane with the Witch Doctor, but then again, it's not like a Bane Mirana where it's not a guaranteed long-range arrow. So I like this from RoX.KIS. I think this is really smart.
Well, and yeah, I totally agree with you, man. I think this is a very clever solution to all the issues we were talking about. I really like Lycan mid a lot. It takes a little bit of practice. Well, not practice. I mean, obviously, these guys are all well practiced. They're professional freaking players. But it takes a lot of... you have to be very careful. And Gold Black's going to be spotted. Take a little right click here, but should be fine. But you have to play it. You have to play it a certain way, and you have to make sure you stay safe. But once you know your wolves can put out a fair amount of harassment, they help you a ton with last hits, and Lycan just benefits so tremendously from experience. You know, His wolves level up faster. He gets level 6 faster, which makes him not only more survivable, but more deadly. It allows you to split push and push harder. If your enemy mid decides to go try and gank another lane and you're level 6, suddenly that tower is just taken from 100 to half health in the time it takes for him to drift down and drift back. This just makes sense. He just has to win the lane. And he is going to be up against a Dragon Knight, so the Dragon Knight should be fine even if the wolves do put out a considerable amount of harassment just because of Dragon's Blood, the regen, and the armor that comes with that. But for the most part, this is a great decision from RoX. Now we just got to see if their other lanes are going to work out as well as we think they will.
I think they kind of made a big misstep in showing themselves top. I think they needed to just completely be hidden so that Empire had no idea, because they saw them as a result of walking up the cliff. I don't think they needed to do that. And as a result, always want to fly. He puts a ward. Oh, I missed a kill. I did not expect this happening.
I was watching it, and I don't know what the hell was going on. Vanscore was under cover no, he wasn't under cover of nature's, guys. I mean, he was there. He was invis. But that was just a bizarre play from Puck. He thought he was in a one-on-one position, I do believe. And,
he picked up the invis rune. Okay.
Yeah, he thought he was in a one-on-one position, but you haven't seen the tree yet. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't assume he would be there. And that was just weird to me. Either way, very quick and easy first blood for Empire and a very nice start for them. We are beginning to see things shift a bit as RoX.KIS wants to get that one back as soon as they possibly can. Smoking too. Yep, Vanscore's there. And
too fast. He's got the early boots. Can't catch him. Gank evaded, although they might still get silent. He pops the arrow, and he will get away himself. Failed gank. That's actually pretty big for a couple of reasons. One, several of his camps are warded here in the jungle. And he got really, really lucky getting the Centaur in that new medium camp. So that was good for him. But kind of a setback here for RoX.KIS is it now has kind of gotten back to normal lanes, so to speak. As I thought they could have gone aggressive, but as I was mentioning, always want to fly warded his own camp in his own jungle because he saw that the aggression was coming out from RoX.KIS.
Yol gonna take some right click from the big old tree, but BZZ right there with him. We see Sadoy being bullied around by Mag. And this is just something Mag's good at, just putting pressure on the towers like this. In mid, we're beginning to see everyone come together. There's going to be a cast. Got a couple of procs. Here comes Vanscore. He's going to be Nightmare. BZZ pulls back. Always want to fly. Takes it off of him. But, yep, Yol and the rest able to make it away safely, too. Up at top, Sadoy hanging about as well as he can. Lycan is looking good CS-wise. 14-2. For him at the moment, and Silent sitting at 8-1, not too shabby. Puck is in better shape actually at 11-7. So even though he gave up that first blood in kind of weird fashion, he does manage to bounce back and hang in so far. But Mag just continuing to be such a bully.
Yeah, and he's not getting as many procs as he wants to, but they're pinging him out. They want to possibly have a TP ready for him. And I'm looking at some other heroes. No TP on Bane, no TP on Puck, who's going for phase boots fast. So he's not going to have any support here if he gets a big dive on him. And all it takes is one lucky proc, or well, a couple lucky procs of the counter helix after the call, and Furion's dead. So, and the thing about it that I liked, I talked about this yesterday with Mag, is that 1.1 in Battle Hunger. It's a 20% difference at level 1 of movement slow between giving yourself extra 10% and then losing 10% from the enemy hero. So it's very, very easy to catch up to heroes in that sense.
We can see just how much priority RoX.KIS is giving to BZZ right now. Resolution is forced all the way back under his tower because of this Harpy Stormcaller that Gold Black enchanted and moved on into mid lane, putting out a fair amount of damage. And they even have Yol standing there, splitting XP and keeping him safe. Tree's going to get his 3rd rune in a row. It'll be an illusion rune this time around, picks it up. And yeah, it looks like RoX is beginning to stabilize fairly well. They're dealing with this much, much better. And take a look at the CS. I think they're getting the heroes the farm that they need. They've got 25 on the like, and that alone makes this worthwhile. And the Dragon Knight is sitting 10 behind. So they're in great shape so far.
Yeah, they're not actually doing too bad. And the great thing about Lycan is that you get a good start, especially in mid. You can just leave the lane once you get a Vlad's and then open it up for someone else. Or you can push. You can constantly just create pressure and that makes the other team move around, and then that's obviously creating space for other people. So yeah, Lycan with a good start, especially in mid, is very, very good for RoX.KIS.
Smoke in mid as Gold Black and Yol look to make something happen. Let's see if they're gonna turn right or left. We'll be right. They want to take a run, potentially at Resolution. Looks like they thought about going uphill. Yep, Resolution's dead. too far forward. Here comes the TPN, trying to get him some help. And no, the Dragon Tail's actually there, and there's the cask. And yeah, I'm actually shocked that RoX.KIS wasn't able to make that work as well as you would have thought they would. It was very quick reaction, very well played out of Empire to get help there immediately, and able to keep him alive.
Yeah, he actually Dragon Tailed the Ursa before the Ursa was able to clap. Yep. Pretty big deal. So Goldblack not clapping fast enough. And I don't know if it still gets him the kill, because that was a fast TP response from Always Want to Fly, and casks are really, really good for, you know, disengaging. So I don't know if it still gets him the kill, but nonetheless, kind of a failed little Ursa clap there. And nice play by Resolution by heads up play, knowing that he needs to clap, or sorry, stun the Ursa to get away. So
Vlad's done on the Lycan, so his item progression continues. Comes out sub 6 minutes. Just as we hit 6, taking a look, it's a very close game. Less right around 100 gold, I should say, separating these two teams, and literally dead even. Literally sitting right on the 0 line in overall experience. So anyone's game so far, despite the first blood advantage gained by Empire. And I really want to see who they're going to start to rotate and what the Lycan's going to go to. It looks like he's going right to the Ancients, so not wasting any time whatsoever. Down at bottom, Vanscore and Silent just continuing to split XP up against Solo. Solo does have his phase up, as you mentioned. Doesn't have a whole hell of a lot else. Let's see what he's got on the courier. Yeah, he's actually just got a Clarity on the way, so his CS not the best in the world, sitting at 25. And there's that Nature's Wrath we were talking about. Silence very low, and here comes Sadoy. The heal from the Witch Doctor helping things out. Vanscore's there, doesn't have a Nature's Guy, so he's dead most likely behind this, and then get one more auto attack, and they do. Silent and Always Want to Fly able to pull back, but we're all knotted up 1-1.
The Warcry also is extremely powerful with any hero that has extra minions, and they have Furion and they have the Enchantress. So also I got to give a lot of credit to Sadoy up in the top lane. I've been watching that, as I've mentioned. I really like watching 1v1 matchups, whether they're in humongous favor for one or the other. I just like watching them, and he's actually done really well against Axe. He's doing a lot better than this matchup was happening against C9 when I believe Bone 7 was playing. Bone 7 got crushed, just decimated. But Sadoy actually was holding his own. He had pretty even CS until he moved around just now. And now he can't really go back into the lane because now it's, well, as he is, he's going back into the lane. Never mind. I'm eating my words. Yeah. But he's doing very well up in this top lane.
Well, his right clicks are doing sufficient enough damage now that Mag can't just be, diving him and sitting behind tier 1s. Like, you just can't do that. With the phase boots done on him, he's got his gloves of haste, so he's got a little bit of extra attack speed. And the Midas isn't all that far off either. And I agree with you. I think RoX.KIS has really done an excellent job here in accomplishing what would seem to have been the obvious goals they had. Get Solo some experience, get him some farm. Make sure the Nature's Prophet doesn't die, keep him alive, keep things together. Solo died, but you know what? You deal with that. And the Lycan, most importantly, now finishing up a stack of Ancients. He's just short of level 8. Has a Medallion of Vlad's up at 8 minutes in. This is an excellent start for them.
Yeah, and I have to attribute, it was probably a lot due to the Warcry from Lycan. Lycan, just the Warcry buffs up all your lanes as far as giving you some extra damage, extra harass, more probability to get those last hits. So that probably had something to do with it. But yeah, and wow, BCZ is farming like a beast now. This is such a better start for him. Very, very early Vlad's and the Medallion. Has boots now if he wants to. Sadoy could be in some trouble.
Yep, Leech Seed gonna be there. And he's gonna get dunked on. See ya back at the base. See you in the showers, man. As RoX loses the Prophet. And that's not the end of the world. I mean, it's obviously it's not something you want to happen. But BCZ, now this is my question, is BCZ does like to farm. He likes to farm a hell of a lot. Is he going to just try to farm almost exclusively? And it looks like, wow, they got a kill on the puck. He spit the coil, and they still got him under the tower. But at any rate, do you try to just farm if you're BCZ, or do you get more active and try to fight? Looks like he's got his Wolf sitting down to bottom, and Goldblack is there if they want to try something. Up atop, Mag and Vanscore force out a TP back and trying to get someone up there to keep that tower up.
I think it'd be nice for him to pressure a tower. Because
fight bottom. Always Want to Fly. Could be in trouble. And he's healing through all that damage and able to TP away. Goldblack can't go anywhere as he was hit with the Sacred Arrow. And that freed up plenty of space for Silent to pull back, who now has a lot of experience. And Top has got a nightmare.
Blink top. Oh my God.
Yep, there's another big kill as Solo needs to get out of dodge. And he's still being pursued. The speed bonus from Mag almost allowed him to catch up. Resolution hooking up with him as well. He has Elder Dragon form. He'll push this tower down along with Mag. And just like that, Empire took a game that was dead even and broke it open a little bit. It's time for RoX.KIS to stabilize. They can't allow them to get behind the 8 ball like they did in game 1.
These early blinks on Axe are just so devastating, man. Like, it just totally tips the game over. It makes it so much more difficult to play. Mag, he's using that little tranquil trick, and he'll get some extra regen after he gets these creeps. But 10-minute blink, actually it was like 9-minute blink. Perfect timing. And also I was going to say that Vanscore, really, really clutch living armor that time. Oh, no, mid.
Yep. Oh, the arrow, well blocked by the Wolves. They
were just about to die, too.
Yep. Had a couple of seconds at most. That arrow hits, that's probably a huge, huge kill. And now Mag's going to engage. They have the damage. He's gonna end up with the same fate. Didn't even need the ultimate that time. Gold Black using Nature's Attendants. Here comes Sadoy. Gonna get the Sprout off on the Mag. Eats his way through. And now he's gonna move. There's gonna be the ultimate though, and Gold Black blown up from the low ground. Yol caught with the Dragon Tail on the high ground as he tries to retreat. Deja vu all over again in a game that looked like it was gonna be close coming down and coming into the mid game. Instead is turning into an ugly scene if you're a RoX.KIS fan. It's 7-1. They've lost the tier 1 top. They're about to lose the tier 1 mid. They have got to catch their breath, and they have got to slow this down.
Yeah, I think just...
Oh, good coil.
Huge coil.
5-man coil. Is there a follow-up, though? Finally, BZZ's back, but he's going to be rushing into a whole team. Vanscore uses the overgrowth. Max still just hanging out for the moment. He's going to blink to the high ground before the impetus connects. Now they might want to re-engage. Gold Black, Sadoy, and BZZ have to pull back. Always Want to Fly was leading the charge there. Resolution gets the urn charge up. Courier just casually flies over the enemy team, towards the enemy team, I should say. Looks like they were able to pull it back in the meantime. But we just heard a cask, and it looks like he just tossed it uphill to secure them. They're going to go ahead and scatter across the map, but still, the end result, 2 tier 1s down, 8-1, and a huge swing in what was an otherwise close game. This went from being less than 500 separating these two teams to now 5,000 in favor of Empire in both gold and experience.
They just have a very well-rounded lineup. They have lots of good team fight abilities, good stuns, good call, like the call and all that jazz, good damage. They also have healing abilities. One of them is global, and it's a global shield, and it's one of the best in the game. And Witch Doctor is going for the casks, stat, and voodoo restoration. Now also has an urn. I love this. This is my favorite build in Witch Doctor. It's so effective. It makes everyone just invulnerable to ganks.
Moonlight Shadow used by Silent. Sadoy and Yol are there. Dust is up on Yol, and Silent, I'm sure, saw that. Here comes Gold Black, and they expected that, I'm sure. In the meantime, yep, they're going to catch Gold Black. Oh, he missed time the Centaur Stomp, and Silent there to help follow it up, and the ultimate. Is he going to get the damage? Nope, Nature's Attendants healed him up just enough. And yeah, the Nightmare juggling there was really nice, and without a doubt, Gold Black made it away because of that. But in the meantime, BZZ doing what he can, which is trying to push this tower down, and calls on to the Wolves, and now Living Armor getting it back up a little bit. And that is such a pain in the ass to push against, because now you've got it down that low, but if you don't take it down immediately, if they just defend it for a little while, it's going to be back to half health in no time.
Yep, that's what playing against the trio is like. And in the meantime, tier 2 bottom goes down. Dragonite with the Dragon form. Resolution's almost got a BKB. You know, we talk about him in his premier mid heroes, but he's got them all, man. He can play the Dragonite, he can play the Invoker, he can play the OD. He's just got a huge arsenal of heroes now. Arrow hits Roshan. This is going to be a 5-man Roshan, and I imagine he dies here very, very fast.
Yep. Without a doubt. Roche dropping very quickly. I don't know what they can do, really, to do anything about this. If there's one thing they're lacking, they've got Puck, they've got the Coil, and the Waning Rip. That really is their make or break initiation. Like, other than that, they don't have a whole lot of ways to initiate fights. Their crowd control is lacking quite a bit in terms of just, you know, straightforward stuns and that kind of thing. And even if they came in here at this point and caught a Coil and caught a Waning Rift, I think Empire's tanky enough and survivable enough that they wouldn't mind all that much. So even if they knew that was going on, no way to do anything about it. Now a little bit more burst coming out from Resolution as he picks up the Shadow Blade. I'm really liking this build we're seeing more and more often. This is the second time we've seen this in 2 days, where you hang on to top. Mag tried to call the Like, and it looks like he missed him, and he will be able to make it away because of that. But on the Dragon Knight, going treads, and the bracer's optional, but going Ogre Club and then straight to Shadow Blade after you have the Ogre Club up, because you know you're going to get a BKB, so why not be a little bit more survivable for just 1,000 gold while you're trying to farm up that Shadow Blade?
Yeah, it seems kind of weird to me that he does this with a bracer. Like, if he did it without a bracer, it'd make more sense to me. But, I don't know, just a little nitpicky thing, I guess. There's a Moonlight Shadow. Oh, if he gets... Oh, they actually dust him, but he blinks away. So nice heads up play by Mag. An unfortunate dust wasted. So I gotta give a lot of credit as Silent gets some easy peasy.
I was actually watching that one, and managed to get the kill there as he tracked down Sadoy. Now they're looping around onto Yol. Yol could be in a lot of trouble. Yep, he's in a lot of trouble. And Mag right there has the call as soon as that wears off, and he actually whiffed airball on the culling blade. Golblack being stunned.
That was Resolution's bad. He just wanted to save his spell for the kill secured. Normally you cast everything so that you can get the culling blade off so it has more effectiveness, but Resolution, you bastard.
Yep. 10-1, 16 minutes in, and this one beginning to look just about as out of hand as game one was. They're going to have to do something, and, you know, Necro Book build on Lycan, pretty good, but you got to have room to use it, and they're quickly running out of that. Sadoy showing up, has nothing but Midas Phase, does have 2,400 gold tucked away. If you're Sadoy, what's the plan here? What do you think he's going to build?
I think Necrobook is probably best. Necrobook's really good against Axe because he can't afford to have all those minions hit him. Even if he is spinning extra, he's going to lose all his mana, and if he kills the red creep, he just kills himself. But again, it's... Oh, Sadoy gets arrowed amidst all the creeps, too.
Yep.
Oh, Lord.
Easy kill. And BZZ, there's going to be a call. Initiation out of the puck, overgrowth to counter-initiate. They're able to heal through it so far. Always Wanna Fly does end up dropping. But Resolution's still alive for the moment. They're chasing down Mag and Silent into the jungle. Resolution still doing work. There's a great Sprout, but it got BZZ as well. They trade the Aegis for a BZZ kill. They end up bringing down Mag by the time it's all said and done. And here it comes Resolution back up and ready to fight. And he's going to go right to work on Sadoy. Breathe Fire doing mass amounts of AoE. Sadoy drops for the second time. I'm pretty sure that was a dieback. And it was. So, bot back died. Golblack. Not really a threat to Res. Here comes Joel and Solo. Solo very low on overall mana. Resolution's going to go ahead and Shadow Blade. And they see him. And he knows they see him. And he does not care. He's just chasing down Solo, and now Yol next on the list. Breathe Fire should be up. And nope, actually Brain Stab keeps him alive. Here's Always Wanna Fly, throws out the cask. Doesn't get the bounces he would have liked. It looks like they're going to be happy to just pull back, not dead. But, I mean, that alone says a lot, I think. You had two of them, one fresh off an Aegis. So it was mostly just Resolution against three who didn't even care to engage him.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of sloppy from Empire, but they can pretty much get away with that at this juncture because they're up so much, almost 10k gold, about 6,000, 7,000 experience or so. So it's not as bad as it was last game, but it definitely is bad. And it looks like Sadoy's going for a Maelstrom. I don't know about this one, as he's getting rushed here by Resolution with the Shadow Blade, but he's not going to pursue. Couldn't really get in the right position that he wanted.
Moonlight Shadow taking them across the river, and there's BZZ. Mag guessed wrong. And BZZ will use his ultimate and try to run away. Blink Dagger up in 5 seconds. Cast by... Oh, he actually misshot the arrow. Mag's right there. Has call. And he's hanging on to it. Can't use it. Can't use the blink now. There go the Necro Creeps. And now he's turning around, and Mag just doesn't care. Solo showing up. Gets a 3-man coil. Could be a chance for a turnaround as Sadoy teleports in from the top side. There's going to be an overgrowth, but Vanscore there to do the work he needs just as the ultimate expires on BZZ. No! One last auto attack, not enough because of the Nature's Attendants from Golblack. Above that, Sadoy's eating a lot of damage. Joel right there with him. And Nature's Attendant's going to keep him alive as well. So Golblack earns a round of beers from his buddies as he keeps two alive there that almost certainly would have been dead otherwise. Arrow comes up short. Actually, never mind, that caught a creep. And now they've hooked back up and they're ready to push bottom, it would seem. They've got Mag elsewhere. He's already up in the jungle, so... And yeah, they're going to go ahead and abandon the siege.
Yeah, Mag loses man points. Oh, Silent actually leaps in and gets unfortunately stunned by the Centaur. That kind of sucks, but yeah, Mag, you lost some man points in my book. You posted it out there in TP'd. I do not approve. Sadoy in some trouble. He needs a TP out right now. This is a blink dunk. Blink dunk.
Yep. That's one of those. You know, we've all had those moments happen when you're playing, and it just like that happens. Like, well, what do I expect to happen? You know, it's just like you can't even be mad. It's just like, yep, that's what you get when you're an idiot and you farm with a quarter health with an axe on the map and you don't know where he is. Always want to fly, eating some impetus damage. And now going to turn around, throw the cast. Silence right there, follows it up with the arrow. Vanscore comes in as well. Nature's Attendance makes it tough. Can they bring him down? Nope. Nightmare there onto Silent. BZZ might want to engage. Vanscore very low mana. Fiend's Grip on the Silent from the high ground. They're going to be able to get him for sure as Solo comes in to even add. Vanscore coiled out and just kind of running around, giving people pats on the back. That's a DD now picked up for BZZ. And they could try to turn this around very quickly. Behind that, though, we see Mag comes in. Nightmare actually saves BZZ. Resolution not quite as merciful, though, and thought about chasing him out. Ultimate on the high ground was there to preemptively, but he has to cancel it, and they are going to make it a back. And I didn't even see who Axe dunked there. I heard it. Yep, looks like he finished up the Nature's Prophet, so getting the kill just below it. And he's looking for BZZ. He's going to get eyes on him. Oh, no, he went the wrong way.
I don't think he wanted to go.
Yep.
He had DD, and he had the rest of the other team members from RoX.KIS behind. The Solo kind of messed up his blink waning rift right there. He just waning rift and didn't blink, so he didn't hit anybody with it. Could have maybe netted a kill off of that. Resolution's just going for like the grab bag of items here. He's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Ogre Club here, plate mill there. Can't quite decide what he wants. But
treating it like a yard sale, dude. Just pick up bits and pieces.
Yep.
But yeah, it's 6-16. Still not quite 10K between the two teams. Necro Book 2 is done on I like. And you think they have the chance to rat them out here? I mean, it feels like if they could win a fight or two, they might be able to hang on. And Resolution silenced out, but turns it around as Solo has to blink away. But do you think if they can win a fight or two in these defenses that we're bound to see? Hold that thought again. Silent tried to go in and spotted, nightmared by Yol. Gold Black's there with the enchant, but Empire just has too many people in too good of a position for them to want to engage into that many personnel. Top tier 2, the last remaining outer tier tower for Empire. And now down below half health. Let's see if they want to try to initiate. Puck does have coil up if he wants to try to spend it. Lycan, obviously his ultimate's good to go. And Yol's going to move in. Fiend's Grip's there as well. They got Resolution. There's going to be the drums used to secure their retreat. Sentry dropped immediately, and the Moonlight Shadow to help keep them safe. At bottom, worth mentioning, this is what I was talking about. If they can just win fights or at least force a situation where maybe Empire doesn't want to fight, their split push potential is there. Mag was almost engaged, and Silent actually gets a kill onto Sadoy somewhere. Didn't even see where it happened. Was watching to see if they were going to be able to pursue out Mag. He blinks away even though he gets the spin in the process. But looks like Sadoy, yeah, he died over in bottom somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know why BCZ isn't using his Howl. Like, Sadoy had so many treants attacking that tower, and it would have died so much faster, and he would have got out alive if he just used his Howl. Like, he hasn't used it in the last 2 minutes or so. And even when they had that kind of mini engagement up top, I think it's okay to use your Howl liberally like that, just to get as much damage as you can with as many auto attacks from as many different targets. So, yeah, I think he needs to be more liberal with that Howl.
Yeah, I agree. It's just too big of a bonus. And at the very least, RoX.KIS did manage to bring down another tower. So they're making up ground where they can. Roshan will be back up here in about a minute and a half, give or take. But, like, do you think split push is viable for them? Just try to dodge fights or try to force situations where Empire has to back away from pushing into your tier 2s and tier 3s and split push with the Furion in the process? Or do you think there has to be a little bit more to it?
Sure, I think it's definitely viable. Like, they're not out of the woods, or Empire's not out of the woods just yet. Like, you definitely, or I should say RoX.KIS, you definitely have the means to do it. And Sadoy is gone for, like, the split pushing build. He's gone for Maelstrom. Oh, Gold Black's in trouble.
Gold Black, Nightmare, trying to bail him out. Might be enough. Wolves are there, and yep, nope. Nature's Attendance a little late in the coming. There's going to be a leech sheet on the Yol and the Overgrowth. Caught BZZ. Can they follow it? Nice coil to turn it around, but Mag's there. Fiend's Grip on the Silent. Rest of Empire, though, still up and fighting just fine. Sadoy's trying to do what he can. The Maelstrom damage certainly a big help, but still not enough as Mag secures a kill onto Solo. Resolution may drop here and will. However, they end up trading 1-for-1 as the dunk is there from Mag. Yol now next on the list. He'll be nightmared. Arrows actually shot wide. Vanscore just dying to right clicks at this point. And now Mag comes back out. Always want to flies there with the heal. They're trying to catch up with BZZ. He's going to try to TP out, and the cask prevents the TP. He's trapped in. The cast still bouncing around. Big kill as he drops. And that's a 5-for-2 exchange. All said and done. And RoX, I feel like, actually fought that out about as well as you could have expected them to. But Empire just a little too strong at this point, and they take yet another win. Silent, by the way, has a Manta style up and done, and I think the item progression is just going to end up being the tail of the tape now as we get into the meaty part of the mid-game at 25 minutes.
That stun from Always Want to Fly just there was actually kind of impressive. It looked basic, and oh, he found him and he stunned him, but BCZ TP'd in a way that, like, if you walk there just for a second and then TP, if you're a support hero that's like, oh, he's running this way, and you click past the trees, it'll actually move your hero all the way around. And so he was actually clicking like right next to himself and expecting that's what BCZ might do. And as a result, it didn't move his hero all the way around, and he was able to get off the stun. Again, it looks like a very easy play, but it was. I think I like those little things. I think they matter.
Oh, they matter a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah, the odd pathing. And yeah, I remember the debates on the dev threads about pathing regarding trees like that. And it is, it's just one of those little things, like you said, and right there, it made a big difference. And Empire takes another Roshan, and they're ready to go. And I saw Cuirass isn't horrendously far away for resolution right now. About 1,000 gold, and he'll have it. So they may wait on that. But for the most part, I think they could just about 5-man now and push down mid if they felt like it.
Yeah, I think he realizes he doesn't even really need BKB this game, and that's why. Oh, sleep onto Silent, but he is stacked too, by the way. My God, I haven't really looked at his items, but Maelstrom, Manta, Drums, Aquila, another 1,000 gold, and a haste rune bottled. So yeah, he's looking damn good.
He's top in terms of net worth. Scepter now done on our big red friend Mag.
Scepter on Witch Doctor too. This is like the best Axe upgrade. Yeah, he has it. He's flying out to him right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Don't get to see enough Witch Doctor in competitive play. Shout outs to Moritz, by the way. The basically the hero what practically was named after him going way back in Dota 2's development. Good friend of mine. If you know him, you know him. If you don't, you don't. Just say he works with Dota and around Dota quite a lot. But Moose in the house and he has like 1,200 games, if not more, thousands of games played only on Witch Doctor.
Oh wow! See, look at how hard those trees hit. They hit for almost 50 each, and that Howl is so good with them.
RoX trying to dodge fights as best they can. Really, that's their big option. Problem is, Silent stacked enough now that he by himself can split push lanes.
Yeah.
And there's not. Yeah, this tower's just dead. They're gonna glyph it. I don't think Silent cares. You're not gonna send Solo back and scare Silent much. Now, Sadoy's there, but he's gonna be able to make it away, as we saw. Willing to take that chance. Solo's there with the Yules, though. And let's see if they can follow it up. Good coil. He's gonna continue to run. And oh wow. They're going to be able to track him down after all. Very well played behind that, though. We see the fight not going so well as they manage to take down Bane. 2 dunks now for Mag, and he's not done. May be able to chase 1 or 2 more down. Solo has to hustle away. Gold Black's there. It gets called. And can you count to 3? Hat trick.
Oh, my God.
Hat trick as Mag finishes the job. And that was a very costly kill on the Enchantress in mid. Vanscore's helping to deal with some split push, and we see BZZ's ducked into bottom lane. So RoX isn't failing to get something out of this. They're just, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
That dunk on Enchantress seems so ridiculous too. It's like 3/4 of his health, but Enchantress has such low HP that Empire Mag with the Ags and the in the ballroom.
Yep.
is able to dunk kids quite easily. Armlet here picked up for Lycan. Very late Armlet actually. This is kind of odd.
Comes out just as the Cuirass is done on the Dragon Knight too, so he's not going to be super scared, I don't think, of the Lycan. Mag sprouted in. He's trying to TP away. Solo putting that Yules to use for the second time. They might get a kill because of it. Blade Mail's there though, and the Fiend's Grip, locking him down. Mag still getting the spins, and did some damage on his way out. But RoX is fighting hard, man. And, this is a game that seems like it slipped away, much like it did in Game 1, but they have managed to keep it at least within striking distance. Gold Black now coming up with the impetus damage, trying to track down Always Want to Fly, and that's going to be another kill for them. RoX now on the charge and running down mid lane. And we can see things are beginning to turn around a little bit. They're beginning to stabilize at the very least. Problem is now they have to go back and deal with creeps pushing in.
I mean, they definitely have the means to take this back. They have 2 of the best rat Dota style heroes in the game, being Lycan and Furion. They really do. And as long as I think as long as they don't get overzealous once they get pickoffs like this. So TPing back, farming the enemy jungle, this is the smartest thing you could do, I think, if you're RoX.KIS. So well played for them.
3 bracer build on Yol, by the way. Just thought I'd point that out. Don't see that all that often. Always fun. Makes me think of the game Dindy had where he built 3 Wraith Bands. Was it Dindy or was it Hani? I want to say it was Hani.
Hani on Sniper, right?
Yep, it was on Sniper.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yol dodges an arrow there, but yeah, I agree. I think that they've, you have a lineup like this, just surviving and extending the game. Whenever you have this much split push potential and you have the Nature's Prophet and the Lycan, Prophet in particular, who now has a Mjolnir, so he's not super overly farmed. I mean, he's right there in the middle of the pack in terms of overall farm. But he's farmed enough now that he's a threat. And Silent throws the arrow. Solo dodges it with a phase shift. And, well, BCZ just ran into a world of pain. And if they can get him, it's a big pick. Nope, Mech's there. No, the Nightmare got him, then was taken off. And let's see if they want to re-engage. There's going to be a coil. If they can turn this around, it'll be a big win. Ultimate goes down on always want to fly. Yol gets off the Fiend's Grip just for a moment, but the damage was still done. Yol going to be stunned, dunked on, and now BZZ has to pull all the way back. Resolution's not done, though. Has Breathe Fire in 5 seconds. Doesn't even need it. Gold Black now taking a ton of damage. Mag is right behind him, gets the call off, and they decide to go ahead and retreat after the buyback from BZZ. Another Waning Rift caught for that time, but the follow-up just isn't there. They're holding the tower up, but they're giving up so much in the process. In the meantime, we can see Sadoi was trying to split push and decides to come back into the fight. Puck ends up dropping. Now there's going to be an overgrowth, and BZZ is dead to rights.
That's how Tree is so good against Lycan right there.
Absolutely.
And he already bought back. He already bought back, too.
Yep, die back. And Gold Black's next on the list. Mag didn't have the mana for a Calling Blade, but he would. Yep, GG. I was going to say, could have dunked him again. 31-11, though. And Empire, with that win, punches their ticket, not just to the playoffs, but to the postseason, sitting in 2nd overall position. They earn themselves a first-round bye and join EG atop our final standings. And we'll take a look at these standings once again when we recap, just so we can explain how all that's going to function. But yeah, Empire came in, and this is just kind of Empire's calling card. And if you look at their record across any span of time, you can see good wins and good losses. Like they're up and down, and they have been for a while. But when they look good, they look damn good. And RoX.KIS on the unfortunate end of that here today. Collectively, 26-5, the performance out of Mag and Silent here in Game 2. Phenomenal.
Absolutely. And on the back of Mag, just with a very, very early Blink Dagger, was able to just snowball. When RoX.KIS, it looked like they had a good start. Like, Lycan had a ridiculous amount of farm, being that he was in the mid lane. Of course, he had help. But one thing that we didn't talk about that I think actually made a huge difference in this game for Empire was that Vance scored on the Tree Protector. When he was level 4, he went top, and his skill build was 1-1-2. He actually put 1 into Nature's Guise at level 4. You normally never see this.
Right.
But he used it offensively. They saw that Sadoi was an easy pickings if they could just get the call from Mag on there. And Vance scored TP top. He put the Nature's Guise on the Axe, who was level, I think, 6 or 7 by that time. And it was an easy kill on the Sadoi, and that really was the difference maker, because up until that point, it was kind of even between Yol and Mag. But then that gave a very, very fast Blink Dagger, so that was a really nice play there from Vance score.
Yeah, it's an excellent recap, my friend. And, yeah, not a whole lot more you can really say about it. You can see by the time it was all said and done, they had crossed over and led by about 15K. The net worth chart in and of itself, and BZZ was farming like hell, but even so, by the end, Resolution had caught him on the Dragon Knight. And yeah, just a great way to end Western Challenge play, at least for a little while. Again, we have one more match that is scheduled. It'll be about 2.5-3 weeks from now. And very sorry for the downtime. The TI4 qualifiers kind of threw a crimp into all that. But it does have value. It's not just a match with nothing on the line. And with RoX.KIS losing, it's now going to be the match that determines who makes the cut. Alliance is already out of the playoff picture, and Team Liquid and RoX.KIS are now both sitting at 1 win apiece as well, with their last match against each other coming up. So whoever wins that ends up going to the postseason. So should be a lot of fun when we see that eventually coming up again about 2.5-3 weeks from now. Thanks for joining us for the broadcast, guys. I'm your host, Aaron AC Chambers. Hope everyone's having an excellent weekend. I know there's a little festival going on downstairs, and after I do some voice work, I'm probably going to end up checking that out as well. And really looking forward to the next week. Actually, I guess 3 weeks, I should say, because we've got, not a whole lot D2L-wise going on, but I'm actually going to be guest starring on 2 podcasts coming up next week. One will be on Wednesday and one will be on Thursday. Or, no, one will be, I think that's right, one on Wednesday and one on Thursday. Yeah, that's correct. So make sure you follow me on Twitter, and I'll be tweeting about that. I'll be on the Giant Bomb Dota 2 feature, actually, and I'll be tweeting out info regarding that, looking ahead through the rest of this week. And if I'm not mistaken, this is kind of cool, I think I'm allowed to announce it, and if not, Crispy, if you're listening and I'm not supposed to, I'm sorry. But if I understand it correctly, the scheduling comes together, I'm actually going to be on that podcast with Asa Butterfield, who is known as Ender from the recently released Ender's Game. So that'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to that. And then another one, I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's actually a Dota 2 podcast that is run by one of the developers for Double Fine of Psychonauts fame and a few other really good games. So busy week for me. And even though we won't have D2L going on, we will have all of that fun stuff. And I hope you follow me at AC, at AYESEE. And another guy to follow is Trouf. Trouf does streaming now. He's actually one of the few of us who says, I'm going to start streaming soon. And he actually does. Never happens. For that alone, you should check him out at Trouf Dota, TRALFDOTA. Where else can they catch you, man?
And my stream, is twitch.tv/Trouf. So, yeah.
There you go. Any final thoughts on the way out the door, my friend?
Just Empire looking good lately, man. They're looking pretty damn good. They had their ups and downs in the last week or so, but I think they've stabilized. And on the back of this Axe pick, I wonder if we're going to start seeing some early Axe bans, but they would definitely warrant it if that was the case. But, yep, Empire looking good.
Alrighty. Again, make sure you check myself and Trouf out at AC, at AYESEE, and at Trouf Dota, TRALF. This will be, or TRALF DOTA. My goodness, can't spell, can't talk. I'm worthless. I guess
Dota.
Dota. It's Dota. Thanks again, guys. And we'll be back again with our last D2L Western Challenge regular season broadcast coming up about 2 or 3 weeks from now, as RoX.KIS and Team Liquid will face off for that final playoff spot, and then the playoffs will be beginning not long after that. Enjoy your weekend, what remains of it anyway. Make sure you enjoy your morning, evening, or afternoon, and more importantly, enjoy some Dota.